Your Excellency and your entourage, I welcome you to this solemn meeting of Parliament, and now give you the floor, Excellency, for your address to Parliament.
Over the past year, our people have experienced and continue to experience tough times. In the wake of the devastating impact of Hurricanes Irma and Maria, our people have exhibited strength and resilience. This by picking their lives up, rebuilding their homes and their businesses, and by going to the polls to elect this new Parliament. And in doing so, investing in their future, in St. Martin's future. We have, as a result, come a long way. This with the help and support of our Kingdom partners and international organizations. But there is still a long way to go to rebuild a more sustainable St. Martin. Madam Chair Lady, members of Parliament, the impact and effects of the devastation of Hurricanes Irma and Maria, estimated in terms of damages and losses at $2.7 billion US, will be felt for a long, long time to come. No sectors were spared. Our private and public infrastructure was severely damaged. Our homes, businesses, hotels, airport, seaport, utilities, and government infrastructure were affected, resulting in a loss in economic activity, in business revenues, in taxes, and in employment. In 2017, GDP, gross domestic product, contracted by 4.8%, and it is expected to contract further in 2018. With tourism being the main pillar of our economy, the extent of the loss of economic activity is, amongst others, reflected in a decline in stay-over visitors by some 75% and in cruise visitors by some 38% during the first half of 2018 compared to the same period in 2017. This economic fallout has left many businesses cash-strapped and people without work or on reduced work hours and pay. Similarly, government revenues have declined, resulting in budget deficits of 72.4 million Antillean guilders in 2017 and 197 million Antillean guilders in 2018. Government recognizes that this reality has created major challenges, but believes that it has also brought with it new opportunities for growth and general improvements. Looking ahead, government, through its governing program for the years 2018-2022, Building a Sustainable St. Martin, is focused on securing a prosperous and safe nation for all. To achieve that, government is committed to pursuing a combination of 5 strategic objectives. These are: 1, setting it right to put St. Martin back on track; 2, revive and restore, to rebuild with an emphasis on sustainability; 3, restructuring government to improve efficiency and provide better public service; 4, safety and security, to upgrade public protection and national security; and 5, health and social well-being, to promote health and well-being in our own lives. Within these 5 strategic objectives, government has identified some 25 key priorities. To support its pursuit of these strategic objectives and related key priorities, government has in collaboration with the World Bank, completed its National Recovery and Resilience Plan, the NRRP. This plan is to serve as government's roadmap for the recovery process in the coming years. With Parliament having recently approved the NRRP, government is poised to move forward with the implementation of its recovery plans. It is estimated that 2.3 billion United States dollars, not including the budget and liquidity deficits, will be needed to rebuild our infrastructure and economy for recovery and resilience over the next 7 years. The Dutch government has, for that purpose, made some 580 million US dollars available through the Reconstruction and Resilience Trust Fund at the World Bank. Additionally, some 497 million US dollars is expected to come from insurance payouts. That leaves a financing gap of over 1 billion United States dollars and poses a serious challenge going forward. Madam Chair Lady, members of Parliament, looking ahead, government has therefore, given its limited financial resources, decided to focus on addressing the immediate needs of our people: housing, employment, healthcare, and safety and security. It is in this context that government has, together with the World Bank, been working intensively on the preparation and early implementation of the first projects that will be financed by the Trust Fund.
Tell them, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGE.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Jose Helga and I play basketball. I have organized basketball events in St. Martin. Sport matters to me because it makes everybody come together in unity. So I challenge the businesses community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facility. I'm also asking the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take on the challenge and step up for sport because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sport Matter, hashtag Are You In?
And this afternoon, I'm very pleased to announce the ministry's vision of getting St. Martin back on track. And it's very important that we do so and that we get St. Martin back on track together, all components being involved, all persons. The vision for St. Martin, of course, is to diversify St. Martin and promote the tourism industry by foregoing and forging relationships within the kingdom, the region, and international partners to ensure that St. Martin maintains its hub function in the northeastern Caribbean. And of course, very iconic I had to use was Winnie, our national carrier. The priorities, of course, going forward in our priority list for the ministry, of course, is to develop a 10-year tourism master plan, strengthen our hub partner functions. The reason, of course, for the first trip to Sabre to, again, explore options of an MOU. The next trip slated for our hub function partners is St. Bart's, and we're going to continue down the northeastern chain of islands to reaffirm St. Martin's hub function in the northeastern Caribbean. To continue the MOU with Friends St. Martin, like I made mention in my first days of office, I committed myself to the MOU, and when you formulate an MOU, it always looks good in the beginning, but now we put meat to the matter. So it's very important that, again, when we met as French side and as Dutch side representatives, that we really now commit to that MOU. Part of that was aligning our schedules, both for the Vice President and myself, aligning the schedules of the two respective tourist offices, and of course, as the Vice President made mention, making sure that there's one voice for St. Martin. No longer Dutch side or French side, but simply one St. Martin. And it leads me to the next point, the promotion of St. Martin as one destination. Other priorities, of course, included, and it's deeply rooted in the governing program, the 50th anniversary of Carnival and beyond, and I made sure I add the beyond part to my presentation, because indeed we can have a very strong 50th Carnival celebration, but if it declines shortly after that, then you have not much success in your back pocket. So it's very important that we look at making sure, and I instructed the St. Martin Carnival Development Foundation to provide me with a 3-year marketing plan that would include us getting an overall view of how we as a destination can continue to strengthen our carnival market and further develop it as number one in the northeastern Caribbean. Just back from Aruba, I'm very eager and happy to add this piece in, that we'll be having the 4th annual Dutch Caribbean Gaming and Anti-Money Laundering Forum. The reason for this forum, of course, is to regulate the gaming industry on St. Martin. So while it looked nice that I traveled as the tourism minister, it was even more nice to come back with a forum that would accommodate over 100 persons in the key areas of banking and gaming, casinos and the like, that would again reaffirm St. Martin's hub function not only as a destination, but the ability to host conferences, host events, and there's others coming up that I leave it up to the tourist office to mention about, other forums and conferences. The beautification of the bar of the cultural boutique hotel, Passangran Hotel, that is very important for the ministry, and when I went on a working visit, very key in the ministry's desire to see that St. Martin overall continues to rebound after the passage of Hurricane Irma, and being that it's alongside the boardwalk, it is very important that we have one of those first images as cruise tourists disembark on our shores, that they get to see not only the pristine nature of St. Martin, but get to do so in the vivid color and flair of the Caribbean. Promoting of festivals and local entertainment events such as the Heineken Regatta, the Olici Festival, and many others that is still in the plans to come. Priorities include also the review of the marketing and PR representation firms in the United States, Canada, Brazil, Argentina, and the Benelux. That is very important that we look going forward into those marketing areas and review those, because indeed, as St. Martin redesigns its marketing strategy, we're in a very strategic opportunity to redesign St. Martin as a destination, that we get it right this time. Finalize the Air Service Development Committee, very committed. As part of the airport, we have very dynamic young man who's over that and is continuing to see that through. Regulate and monitor the ferry services. Review and address the challenges and legislation in the maritime industry. Priorities. Our very beautiful airport, as you see there on the screen, in its full vivid color that I know Mr. Daranani and of course Mr. Hyman is committed to, and the board as well and the management, as he made mention of, it has my full support and attention. And indeed, it's very important that we see the full completion of the Princess Juliana International Airport, inclusive of the U.S. pre-clearance, which would not only generate the necessary economic activity for the destination, but again solidifies St. Martin's position in the northeastern Caribbean. No longer spending long hours in the lines to our gateways, especially to the U.S., because you'll be pre-checked locally in that designated area. modernize the collection of passenger arrival and departure statistics. It's very important that we take out the noise from the collection of data and we get the raw figures that we'll be able to make some tangible decisions going forward. The revitalization of Phillipsburg, which includes making sure that businesses are not only safeguarded and prepared and ready during the day, but we also look at the opportunities for cruise ships to stay in port at night and make sure that St. Martin is also in the evening safe and secure for our guests and residents alike. The reopening of hotels, small, medium, and large. The completion of the vendors market, that we regulate that area and we make sure that it is again representative of who we are as a St. Martin culture. Regulate the public transportation system, not only for residents, but for visitors as well, and further develop airlift to the destination. It is very important going forward that these areas continue to be prioritized as the ministry's desire to work with not only our counterparts and all stakeholders, but our overall commitment to see St. Martin bounce through this very turbulent time 1 year and a few days later. I am very pleased to be here as the Minister in charge of TIAT, and of course congratulate each and every one of you for the dynamic job you have been doing, even long before I took the oath of office, and look forward to working with each and every one of you collectively in the national interest of St. Martin and moving this country forward.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you're for.
We're here together, helping in the rebuilding of this beautiful paradise island that we so call the Friendly Island. So for this, I want to say it's not a job of oneself, and I continue to say so over the time that we've been working together. This cooperation could only be possible, again, thanks to the airport for starting and taking the initiative in doing so, but also for each and every one of the partners for putting differences aside and realize there's something bigger at stake, and that is the rebuilding of this beautiful island. And for this, I say you can give yourself a round of applause. This is indeed something very great. And St. Martin, yes, we want to see St. Martin back the way it was. Or maybe not. We want to see it better. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. Only God knows that reason. But the objective and the most important thing is that we remain humble, focused, and know that together we will cross this bridge. The time for cooperation and collaboration was never more appropriate. We are two nations, but one territory. We have different infrastructures, but one common goal, which is to reconstruct the island of St. Martin. Of course, together we are stronger. St. Martin has always been a classroom for the outer world, an example of cooperation between different nationalities and cultures. I believe that's why we are known as the melting pot of the Caribbean. As we speak, the world is experiencing climate issues. Nations must cooperate now more than ever. We have no choice as stakeholders and as government bodies, of course, but to work together in the interest of our economy, our tourism product, and the reconstruction of our beautiful island. Nature is reawakening every day. So like nature, we must exploit our potential and always reinvent ourselves. And why should we try and do so alone when we have what it takes? Parti français, or the Dutch side, like we say, we are all. And we are known on the one slogan, and that's the friendly island. And we show this more and more, like I said just now, with being the melting pot of the Caribbean. And today, I want to say thank you from the deepest part of my heart, of course, because I know a lot of people been worried about the change of my counterpart. And I applaud and I thank him every day that continued in that vision and also brought his 2 cents to the table. Because, of course, coming in, you come with a different experience, a different vision, but the most important is that the love for St. Martin and the objective behind this MOU still stands. So again, it's not about me, it's not about Minister Johnson, but it's about rebuilding a beautiful island, this Paradise Island, and we can only do so with each and every one of our stakeholders. For that, I say thank you.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
The closing of Parliament, the reflections that you stated as well of the parliamentary year. We are now, many would say, a young democracy. In 10, now it's 2018, so approximately 8 years after having attained the position that we are today. Here we are in a month of September as well, at the height of the hurricane season, where probably 2 or more of the largest hurricanes ever to hit in the history have always occurred around the September eve. And today, this week, we're already looking at storms or hurricanes probably passing close to St. Martin, if not over St. Martin. But at this time, Madam Chair, I think it's also important that we reflect on basically what has Parliament been able to achieve or what we've been able to promise the population of this country. We are elected here by the people of St. Martin. This is one position that really the people of St. Martin elect. beyond that, I can't say that they have the choice of who sits in government, but they do have a choice of who sits in parliament. And that, to me, is real democracy. Anything other than that, to me, is a false democracy. The question would also be, Madam Chair, where are we seeing since the 10-10-10? And today, again, many things were promised in 10-10-10. Many things were avoided to in 10-10-10, that things would be better, things would be greater. And you know, I had the opportunity to serve in 1995 up until now. And I've been able to sit on both sides of the fences, from the times of being able to even sit in the Parliament of the Netherlands and Antilles and know that you used to sit with your peers. Today it is a far different cry, because St. Martin is supposed to be in charge of its own autonomy, and yet we are standing here or sitting here and constantly discussing who is telling us what to do. And it is something that we need to reflect as a parliament, how we're going to move this country forward. Because it cannot be that our hands are constantly tied by institutions like, for example, the CFT, that was supposed to be a temporary situation and now is more or less become a permanent situation. Because I say that again, with the passing of Irma and the financial state of the country and the financial state of the economy, I can see that the CFT will probably be here for many more years. The same situation with the dripping, as I would call it, of the funds through the World Bank to move this economy forward. Why not? If you look back in the history of the world and you look back at, for example, when there was the great catastrophe of World War II in Europe, and the Marshall Plan was created to be able to move the European economy back to the resilience that it was before or pre-World War II status. Here in St. Martin, you are now considered bureaucratic. We are not seeing the monies being able to move forward because of the rules that we have to play by. And while, of course, in every game there must be rules, Madam Chair, I also believe that rules have to be changed to be able to move this country forward.